So just going to start out talking a little bit about Earth, since it's Earth Day. I was just thinking about how interesting it is that we can really change our perspectives throughout this whole situation, the whole coronavirus and being quarantined and everything. I was reflecting on how before, well, I'm actually living on a farm now, but before being on the farm, I would go to the store like every day. If I wanted a snack, I'll just go out, go to the store, buying so many packaged things. And I haven't been able to do that here, especially since like we're close to Albany right now and everything is like an hour away. So just shopping smarter and knowing how to not make like a billion trips with my car in and out has been really amazing to reflect on. The amount of just waste that we consume through our products, waste that we consume or give off into the air by driving and constantly moving. I've seen like all these images of animals and certain things flourishing now because of our lack of activity, lack of human activity. It's just this reminder that regardless if we are inactive or active, the earth and Mother Nature keeps doing what it has to do, keeps on its schedule and its routine, and it's just natural cycle. So also being on the farm now, I'm seeing like all the little bits and pieces of things sprouting out, flowers coming out, and there's animals here too, and they're living their own normal life, and it's just really amazing to see that nature keeps going with its own harmony and its own functions, regardless if we are helping it or not. But of course, we can use our intelligence or human consciousness to help and love the earth in whatever way we can. And with that mindset of helping and loving it, as opposed to trying to control it and own it, we can really create a state of harmony and respect. And in turn, we can reduce the amount of natural disasters that happen, or just things that come into manifestation with that lack of respect and reverence to Mother Earth and Mother Nature. Just kind of wanted to say those things throughout class. So weave in some more earth-themed messages and postures. But for now, let's start with just some simple relaxation and just initiating ourselves into our space, into our bodies and our breath. So when you're ready, we can start to close our eyes, find a nice comfortable seat. If you want to elevate your seat on a blanket or a pillow, by all means, take your time to do that for yourself. If closing your eyes is uncomfortable, you can just keep your focus on one spot. And if not, we can start to flutter the eyes closed. And let's all take a nice deep breath in and deep breath out. And start to take in any sounds within the room that you're in. And also any sounds that might come in through your speakers from the space that I'm in. Trying not to judge any sounds, trying not to label or figure them out. Just allow yourself to simply observe. Let the sound waves travel through you, away from you. And taking in any sounds that you might hear outside of the space that you're in. Maybe you can hear cars outside, birds chirping. And perhaps from just the center point of where you are, you can start to expand your awareness and your consciousness outside of your room, outside of the town you live in. As if you can keep spreading your awareness out outside of the country you're in. Feeling and envisioning all the thousands and thousands of people, animals, trees, forests, mountains. And just keep allowing your awareness to expand as if it's completely observing the entire world. Feeling yourself as part of the entire world. Knowing that the imagination isn't limited by space, so as if the whole entire earth is right in the center of the eyebrows. Perhaps you'd like to create an intention for the earth, for its healing, for all the beings that are within the earth. Or if there's any other intention you'd like to set for yourself, just taking a moment to do so now. Begin to inhale that intention into your heart. And sending it out into the universe. We'll join our hands to heart center. And we'll chant the peace mantra, Loka Samasta, 3 times, followed by 3 Oms and 3 Shantis. And you can really try to feel and set your intention that the vibrations of the sounds extend out to all beings everywhere. Breathe in. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May the benefits of this practice extend out to all beings everywhere. When you're ready, we can start to flutter the eyes open, release the palms down, and take your time to come and sit on your heels. And if sitting on your heels is uncomfortable or creates pain, especially in the knees, then you can just stay in your regular seat or use any prompts to help you out. Okay, so we're gonna just warm up the body a little bit with some breath of fire. So as we breathe, you'll think about pumping the navel to the spine. So on the exhale, everything contracts in, and the inhale is passive. It'll all be through the nostrils. So it'll be a sharp exhale through the nose, passive inhale through the nose. Okay, and if at any point you feel like you're not really feeling that breath and body connection, you can always just keep a palm on your belly, and you'll feel the palm move in as you breathe out. Okay, so to begin, let's all take a nice big breath in, and big breath out. Inhale halfway, and begin. Keep going. Exhale, 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 and exhale completely. Inhale all the way to the crown of the head till you can't breathe in anymore and hold at the top. And exhale it out. Inhale halfway and begin. Exhale, 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 exhale all the way. Inhale to the crown of the head and hold at the tippy top. And release. Last round, inhale halfway and begin. Exhale, 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 exhale all the way, empty out completely. And inhale all the way to the crown of the head, sip in as much air as you can and hold at the top. And release. And just take a moment to observe. When you're ready, we can start to open the eyes back up, bring the room back into your vision. And when you're ready, let's come onto hands and knees, all fours. If you need some padding under your knees, once you're on hands and knees, feel free to take that for yourself. We'll make sure to stack the wrists right below the shoulders, the knees right below your hips. And we'll take a few rounds of cat and cow. So as you breathe in, we'll start to drop the belly and lift the chest. As you exhale, untap the toes, round the spine, drop the gaze. Inhale for cow, lift through the heart. Exhale, hug everything in, and as if you're going to push the ceiling with your back. Inhaling for cow. Exhaling for cat. And take a few more rounds. If you want to try something else, you can take your cat and cows on your fingertips instead. Take one more round and then you'll push back into a child's pose. Once you arrive into your child's pose, feel free to keep your knees nice and wide. It creates more space in the hips. And if you feel that you don't need the extra space, then the knees can stay together. Just taking a few rounds in our child's pose. And child's pose can also be a yin pose, so we will practice a few yin postures in the beginning, just to really feel the subtle body, which can include the emotions and the mind. So just taking it slow helps us read what the messages of the body are. And it's also a new moon today. So on moon days, I usually take it a little bit easier, a little bit slower. Now, the same way the moon has its effects on the tides and crops, it also takes its effect on our bodies, being that we are 75% water. So our new moons are also a time for new beginnings, fresh starts, new goals or aspirations. And from your child's pose, start to thread your right arm underneath your left arm so that that right shoulder is on the ground and the right ear is also on the ground. And if you'd like to bring some more weight into the shoulder, you can just crawl your left fingertips forward a bit more so that your hips are over your knees as opposed to the hips being down by the heels. You can keep your left arm extended forward, melting the armpit down, or if you'd like, you can take a half bind, bringing the left arm behind the back. And just notice where you might be holding or resisting or tensing up. And especially since we're taking a yin approach for just the first few postures of class, allow yourself to completely relax, no effort. Let's take one last round of breath here. And if the left arm is behind your back, just guide it forward again. And then the right arm comes forward. Relax in your child's pose for about 3 breaths. When you're ready, we'll switch sides, threading that left arm beneath the right and really reaching as much as you can until your left shoulder and left ear comfortably rest on the mat. Again, if you'd like a variation of having your hips over your knees as opposed to over the heels, you can take that. And if you wanted to bring the right arm behind the back, now's the time to do that as well. Every inhale, probably you'll feel some tension being created, an expansion in the body. And every exhale, a softening, a loosening. Relaxing for 3 more breaths, as if you can fall asleep here. And slowly start to come back into your child's pose with both arms extended out in front of you. Start to slide forward onto your belly and we'll meet in a Sphinx posture. So once you're all the way onto your belly, we'll wrap the hands around the elbows to find the proper distance between your elbows and shoulders. Then your elbows won't move. They're stacked directly below your shoulders and just bring the forearms out flat on the mat. If you'd like, you can let the head be relaxed. If you have a block, you could even put a block underneath your forehead, or you can keep the head upright. If there's any pain in the lower back, feel free to separate your feet nice and wide, about the width of your hips or perhaps the mat. If not, they can stay closer together. So just waking up that lower back here, noticing what sensations are there and just breathing into it. Feel all the support beneath your front body, beneath the front of the legs, underneath the pelvis, abdomen. Just enjoying all the support and allowing the body to relax and soften onto the mat, onto the ground. Enjoying a few more moments of stillness here. Watch the breath as it enters the body, fills up your body with life force and energy. And as it exits, as it leaves, removing anything that doesn't serve us. Now start to widen your elbows. Make a little pillow with your forearms and relax your head onto your forearms. And we can bend the knees here and just let your feet rock side to side, nice and slow. We'll come to a still point and allow the legs to release back onto the ground. And while we're on our belly, we're gonna come into half frog pose. So we'll start to bend the left knee out to the left so that your left knee is in line with your left hip. And you also want to think of making a 90-degree angle with the knee and the heel. If for any reason it's uncomfortable to have that little gap in between your leg, then you can slide a blanket or any prop in between that hip crease. I prefer the right cheek down, but you can bring down whatever cheek you'd like. Just little by little, imagining all the unclenching of all the muscles. And the stillness that a yin posture provides really allows us to self-inquire on how we feel today. Just acknowledging all the parts of our complex bodies, the complexity of our minds and our emotions. And if there's anything that doesn't feel comfortable, just accepting it, allowing it to be. There's no need to fix or change anything at all. Let's take one last breath on this side. And then slowly start to straighten the left leg back behind you. Stay here for one moment. And then moving on to the next side. So let's bend the right knee out to the right. Create that 90-degree angle with that knee crease. So you want the right knee in line with your right hip and your heel in line with your knee. Coming onto the opposite cheek now, or whatever felt best. And also noticing all the weight of your front body softening into the earth. And regardless of our character and our actions, goals that we meet and goals that we don't meet, Mother Earth is always there, holding us, nurturing us, providing for us. Maybe inviting a sense of gratitude for all the support beneath you, for this home. You might feel the pulling up of fresh energy into your body as you breathe in from the core of the earth. And as you exhale, as if anything releases through all the pores of the front body into the earth. Inhaling fresh energy and life. And exhaling tension, fear. Let's take one last breath here. And slowly straighten the right leg back behind you again. And we'll come into one last round of Sphinx pose. So bringing the forearms back flat on the mat once again, elbows beneath your shoulders. And if you had your head upright, you can do that again. If you want to let it hang this time and kind of just let it roll side to side, that can be an option. And if anyone has more space in the lower back to go a little deeper, you can simply just widen your hands and then lift your elbows up off of the ground so that you have some more tension in your lower back. And if you do start to lengthen the arms, just make sure the shoulders are still moving down and away from the ears. So if we feel that bit of pressure in the lower back, in our yin postures, it's like you have a hose that is running with fluid, and then you tie a knot in it. So all that compression starts to create tension there. And once you undo the knot, everything can flow with much more speed, much more velocity. So that's the idea here. And taking one last breath. And if your arms are straight, start to lower the elbows down. And we'll all lower it back onto the belly. This time, bring your arms out into a T shape so that your arms are straight out to the sides and your thumbs are in line with your shoulders. Bring your right ear onto the ground. And we're gonna work into a shoulder stretch here. So bend your left elbow so that your left palm is right next to your ribs and the left elbow is pointing straight up. So with the help of that left palm down, start to roll onto your right hip and right shoulder, but make sure you don't move the right arm down or anywhere else. Just keep it where it is. So this is the most basic step of the posture. You can stay here. No need to go further if you're feeling it a lot. If you want to add on, the left leg can swing back behind you, either straight, or you can step the left foot behind your right leg and bring the left arm behind your back. Just an option. If you take the option and you decide it's a little too far, creates too much tension, then just take a step back. So here we're cutting off some of that circulation in the arm, and the arm is directly linked to the heart. So here we're helping our heart health, our entire circulation. Keep the neck soft, keep the breath soft. And then noticing, acknowledging how we feel here. How does the body react to this posture? Does it hold and resist? Or does it allow and surrender? And how is the quality of the mind? Is it racing and alarmed? Or is it gentle and observing? And how does the emotional body react? Are we happy? Are we sad? And again, there's no right or wrong answer to any of these questions we ask ourselves. By asking, we get to observe and read, understand a little better. Let's take one last breath here on the right side. And coming out nice and slow. And the left arm is behind your back. Start to bring it forward again. The left leg is back. Straighten it next to the right. Then taking your time, roll onto your belly. Hug that right arm back in alongside your body. Both arms alongside the body now. And make your way onto the opposite cheek. And notice the after effects. Perhaps the right arm might have some warm sensations. When you're ready, let's switch sides. So bringing that left arm out to the left, making sure your thumb is in one straight line with your shoulder. Grounding the right palm down and using the right hand to roll over onto your left hip and onto your left shoulder. Once you're on the left hip, feel free to either send the right leg straight behind you, or the foot can step back behind you. You might want to thread that top arm behind your back. Observing how your breath can create a sense of ease throughout your body. This special breath that we have without having to ask it to do its job, without having to remind the body to breathe. Feeling its grace as it enters all the cells of the body. Feeling the after effects of each exhale. For 5 more breaths here. Last full breath in to wherever there's tension. Full breath out. And slowly make your way back onto your belly. Take your time. And just noticing the after effects here. Perhaps a state of balance between both sides. Perhaps we can feel some more newfound space. And let's start to plant the hands besides the ribs and come onto hands and knees, all fours. And once we're back in all fours, hands and knees, you're gonna just work on warming up the joints a little more. So your left knee will stay bent and just elevate it out to the side and make some nice big circles with that left hip joint. Be mindful that you don't dump all the weight on the right side and there's still some weight in that left hand so that we can involve the side oblique muscles. Go around the opposite direction. And then keep the knee out to the left and just pause here for a moment. And straighten the leg out to the left as high as you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now extend the leg straight back so it's hovering over the ground. And reach your right arm forward for spinal balance. And take 5 breaths here. Inhaling for 1, grounding into whatever is making contact between your body and the mat. Inhaling for 2, feel yourself extending forward and back with equal effort. Inhale for 3. Inhale 4. Exhale. And last breath for 5. Now as you exhale, let's bring the right knee and the left knee together into a crunch. Inhale, straighten right arm and left leg. Exhale, bring it in and squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. And last one, exhale, squeeze. Now listen carefully, straighten your right arm and your left leg back. Bring the left leg out to the left again and your right arm out to the right for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your right hand down and keep your left leg out to the left. Just bring the left foot flat. Your left toes are pointing straight forward. Curl your right toes, so the toes that are behind you, make sure they're tucked, and start to sit your hips back as much as your body allows you to this morning. Perhaps the forearms can even come down. Now keep that left foot grounded, especially the pinky toe side of your left foot, and keep pressing down so you feel an awakening and an engagement in the left quad muscle. And start to rise back up onto your palms. The legs stay the same. Let's just inhale the arms all the way up. As you exhale, left hand to left leg and take a nice side bend over to your left. Feel the grounding weight of the right knee still going downwards, creating lots of length throughout those right ribs. Inhale, both arms up. And exhale, side bend to your right this time. If you need to just keep your hand on your leg, that's okay. Or if you need to put a hand on a block, that's okay. Perhaps it goes all the way to the ground. And same idea here. Big line of energy from your left foot all the way to your left fingertips. Now let's circle the palms back down onto the ground. Draw that left knee in so we're back into all fours. Okay, doing it again on the other side. Lift your right knee out to the right, and let's make those big, nice circles. Really feel that effort that your side oblique muscles create to stabilize you, to hold you. And take it around the other way. Okay, so stop with the right knee out to the side and straighten your right leg out to the right. Keep it as high as you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend right leg straight back and left arm straight forward. We'll hold here for another 5 breaths. Energy presses out in all directions to create a sense of stability. Last breath here. And then exhale, left elbow, right knee, hug it in. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, contract and crunch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, lengthen. And last one, exhale, bring it in. Lengthen, left arm forward, right leg back, and then our favorite stuff, right leg out to the right, left arm out to the left for 5. Keep the leg up, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the right leg out to the right, left palm down. Make sure your left toes are curled under. And start to sit back on that left heel. If you can lower to your forearms, go for it. Keep the pinky toe side of your right foot grounded here. And start to make your way back onto your palms. When you're ready, we'll inhale the arms all the way up and take a nice side bend over to the right this time. Inhale to center. Exhale, side bend to your left. Circle your arms down, out in front of you. Come into all fours. Now we'll tuck the toes and visit our downward facing dog. In your down dog, feel free to pedal out the legs, find any movements that feel good for you. Maybe inhaling to tippy toes and exhaling the heels back down. And then we'll start to walk the feet towards the top of the mat, coming into a forward fold. Once you're in your forward fold, just stay there for a moment. You can grab opposite elbows, relax the head. And on your next inhale, let's roll up one vertebrae at a time, coming up into a mountain pose. Once you arrive in mountain pose, just stay here for a moment with the eyes closed, feet sit bone distance apart, palms open. Feel the grounding of the feet, all the corners of the feet rooted. You can shift a little weight towards your toes and then your heels. And try to sway until you find that midpoint, that midline. Once you find it, stay there. Feel the lifting of the kneecaps up towards the hips, engaging your quads and your thighs. Imagine the tailbone like a weight falling right in between your heels, so keeping the pelvis neutral. A gentle lift of the navel going in and up, which also lifts the chest, but remember to soften the shoulders. A downward pull through the soles of the feet and an upward pull through the crown of the head. And when you're ready, let's start to open the eyes. And we're going to practice moon salutations instead of sun salutations because it's a moon day. So my first time teaching a moon salutation online, so if this gets a little crazy, bear with me. All right, so we're all gonna step to the right side of our mats. So you're facing the side. You won't be facing me unless you wanna move your computer around. Yeah. All right, great. So we're all the way to the right side of the mat. We're gonna lift our arms up. Then exhale your left leg out to the left and come into goddess pose. So we'll start to bend the knees, drop the hips nice and low, and we'll go slow for the first few rounds. Feel the tailbone nice and heavy, feet pressing down. We'll start to straighten your legs. Bring your arms into a T shape and turn your right toes in. So we're setting up for triangle pose. Start to send your hips to the right as you reach forward with your left hand. Lower your left hand down and right arm up for triangle. Now inhale, start to lift your chest back up. Bring both hands onto your hips and turn your right toes over to your left. So both of your feet are facing the same direction over to your left. As you breathe in, lift through your heart. Exhale, fold over the left leg. You can keep your hands on your hips, turning elbows up towards the ceiling, or if you prefer to release the hands down onto the ground, that's also an option. Okay, transitioning into low lunge, let's bring the right knee down onto the ground, and then we'll inhale the arms up. Lower your hands to the right side of the foot, and we're gonna come into Skandasana. So we'll sit on the left heel now with the right toes turned up. So you'll be facing the side again. I find that the higher I'm on my tippy toes, the less intense this is. The more you let your heel drop, the more intense it'll be. Okay, so now let's go in reverse. So we'll walk it over to the right and sit on the right heel this time with the left toes pointing up. Lifting up through Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor. And low lunge to the right now. So let's surround the right foot and lower the left knee down. Lift the arms up, stretch that whole front body. Pressing down through the left foot and the right foot. One more breath here. Exhale, lower your hands down, surround the right foot. Now curl your back toes, lift your left knee off the ground, and step the left foot in just a bit so we can fold over the right leg in our pyramid fold. Bring your hands to your hips and inhale your chest all the way up. Now we'll turn the left toes out, bring the arms out into a T, and come into triangle pose over the right leg. So send the hips to the left as you reach forward with the right hand down, left arm up for triangle. Last breath here. Now inhale, bring your torso all the way up and back into goddess pose. Turn the left toes out to the left, bend into the knees, sit nice and low. Straighten the legs, parallel the feet so the toes are forward. Lift the arms up, palms together, and your right leg meets the left. Then release the arms down, mountain pose. So now we should all be to the left side of our mat, and we're gonna do the same thing going back in reverse, okay? Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, right leg out to the right, goddess pose. Straighten the legs, turn the left toes in, triangle over the right leg. Inhale the torso back up. Hands on the hips. Both feet face the right. So left toes turn in the same direction of the right toes. Let's interlace the fingers behind the back, making a fist. As you breathe in, lift your chest, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, fold over the right leg. Last breath here. Lower the hands down, surround the right foot, and left knee goes down to the ground. When you're ready, lift the arms up. Now drop both hands to the inside of the right foot and sit on your right heel this time. Once you're sitting on your right heel, maybe you try to bring just one hand to your heart or both, creating a balance. If you're not using the help of the hands, try to, without the hands, shift all the way to the left foot this time. If you need the help, with your hands, do what you gotta do. So now we're on Skandasana on the left, lifting through the Mula Bandha, lifting through the chest. And low lunge over the left foot. So turn your body to the left, turn your toes to the left, and lower your right knee down this time. When you're ready, arms come up. Lower the hands, surround the left foot, tuck your right toes, lift your back leg, and step the foot in a bit so we can fold over the left leg this time. If you'd like to do the fist behind the back again, just half lift and interlace the fingers behind the back. And as you exhale, you fold deeper. Next breath in, lift the chest all the way up. Gonna prepare for triangle pose. Turn the right toes out to the right, arms out into a T shape. The hips move to the right and back as you reach forward with the left hand, lower left hand down, right arm up. Inhale, carries your torso all the way up and open up, goddess pose. Straighten the legs, parallel the feet. Inhale, arms up, left foot meets right. And mountain pose. Okay, we're gonna do one more round just a little faster. I feel like you guys got the gist of it. Okay, so all the way to the right side. Inhale, the arms up. Left leg out to the left, goddess pose. Straighten the legs, triangle over the left leg. Pyramid fold over the left leg. So both feet turn to the left and lay your abdomen over your left leg. Lower right knee down, inhale, arms up. Exhale, sit on your left heel. Maybe no hands. And then over to the right heel. Low lunge to your right, left knee lowers down, arms come up. And then pyramid fold over the right leg. So you step that left foot in and fold over the right leg. From your pyramid fold, just turn your left toes out to the left and open right into triangle. Inhale into goddess pose. Straighten the legs, right foot meets the left, arms come up. And then right away, right leg out to the right, goddess pose. Straighten the legs, turn your left toes in, triangle over your right leg. Surround your right foot, pyramid fold over the right leg. Lower left knee down, inhale, arms up for low lunge. Sit on your right heel for Skandasana. And then sit on your left heel. Low lunge to your left, arms up. Pyramid fold over your left leg. Walk that right heel in. And from your pyramid fold, just turn your right toes out to the right and open up into triangle pose. Rise up into goddess pose. Straighten the legs, left foot meets right, arms up. And then release the hands down. And just observe here. Okay, so we can widen the legs once again. Keep the feet parallel this time. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, forward fold, and keep your hands on your hips. Just turn your elbows up towards the ceiling. Shifting some weight into the balls of the feet here. Really engaging all the muscles of the leg. Then in your fold, just release the right hand down to the ground underneath the nose, and the left hand can stay on your hip, or you can extend the left arm up towards the ceiling. The arm can also go behind your back, and you can grab a hold of your right inner thigh if you'd like. Take 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. And then switch sides, take your time. One last breath. And then release that right arm down. From here, adjust your feet for a malasana squat. So you might have to walk your feet in a little bit and then drop your hips low. Bring the hands to your heart. You should feel the strength of your arms trying to press your hips open. At the same time, your knees are pressing into your elbows, creating that stability. Keep lifting through your heart. Now from here, we'll push right into the feet and come up to stand. Bring the legs together, mountain pose. And now we'll come into tree pose. So all the weight on the left foot. The right foot can either come to your ankle, your calf, your inner thigh. If you have half lotus, you can bring the foot into your hip crease. And wherever you are, find a still point to keep your gaze on. If you're in half lotus, imagine your knees are going to touch. Slowly pointing right knee forward and come back into mountain pose. And when you're ready, switching sides. Come onto your left tippy toes, angle that left knee out to the left, and bring the foot to where it's appropriate, anywhere but the side of the knee. Point your left knee forward, back into mountain pose. And so from here, let's step all the way to the back of the mat. Then hold your left wrist behind your lower back with your right hand. Step your right leg forward, big, nice step. And then start to bend into your right knee as you shift and lean your weight forward. The left leg starts to float straight back behind you. Imagine you're a capital T shape. You can use that bind behind your back to feel like you're trying to press your wrist away from your shoulders. And lower your hands down for standing split. Keep lifting that left leg up nice and high, using your inner thigh muscle and your glute muscle, avoiding the turning out or the lifting of the left hip. And slowly your left foot steps to meet the right. And inhale, come all the way up to stand. Okay, we'll re-step back to the back of the mat. This time, hold the right wrist behind your back. Step your left leg forward. Bend into the knee. Shift the weight with grace and ease into your warrior three. That back leg reaching back, whole back leg fired up as your heart lengthens forward. Lower the hands down, standing Hanuman. Now from here, we're gonna transition to sitting. So bend your right knee so it's right behind your left knee. And then keep bending the knees until you come down to sit. If that doesn't work out, you can sit first and then we can set it up. So you want that left foot over the right. If this is too much, your right leg can stay straight. If not, draw that right heel in towards your left hip. Make sure your big toe on the left foot is nice and grounded. Now we'll bring the left arm behind the back. Inhale the right arm up. Then as you exhale, twist to your left. Options with that right arm, you can either just hug the left leg in with your right arm, or if you're a little more flexible, then you can hook the elbow on the outside of the left leg. Feel both sit bones nice and grounded here. And then we'll break the pose. Stretch both legs out in front of you. Give them a little shake. Then we'll switch sides. Let's cross the right foot over the left. And then if you want, the left leg can stay straight, or you start to bend the left knee so that you bring the left heel in towards your outer right hip. Make sure that right big toe is flat on the ground. Right hand behind your back, flat on the ground, right behind your tailbone. Then inhale the left arm up, create length, and as you exhale, empty out and twist. One last breath on this side. And then come back to center. Okay, from here, let's take butterfly legs. The soles of the feet can come together. You can bring your hands around the ankles or the feet and just move around in circles here. Feel the weight as it shifts from one hip to the other. And go around the opposite direction. And then we'll stop in the center. With the help of your hands, close your legs like a book. Keep your feet flat on the ground out in front of you. Bring your arms parallel and then roll down one vertebrae at a time until you're flat on your back. Once you're flat on your back, just take a moment, relax and breathe. So before we move forward, just wanted to let you guys know we have about 10 minutes left of class. And unfortunately, where I am, I don't have outlets or anything. So I only have a percentage left where my Wi-Fi is connected. So in case I cut off, we'll definitely be in Savasana at that time. Just take at least 5 minutes of Savasana after we complete the class in case my Wi-Fi shuts off before the 10 minutes, okay? So while we're flat on our backs, let's start to plant the feet flat on the ground. Hands are flat alongside your hips. And as you breathe in, start to lift your hips up towards the ceiling. So you can stay as you are in this bridge pose, or if you want to make it a little more relaxing, you can slide a bolster under your hips, you can slide a block under your hips, completely up to you. Take one more breath. And then release the hips back down. From here, keep your feet flat on the ground. Just lift your hips up and drop them over to the right side of your mat. So just scooch your hips to the right. The shoulders stay where they are, everything else stays where it is, just the hips to the right. Then drop your knees over to the left for a twist. If you need any support underneath the leg or anything at all, feel free to take it. Just noticing all the space that's traveling across your collarbones, across your shoulders. And although we're twisting and we feel compression around the navel, we just breathe a little slower and fuller to fill up that space. Slowly come back to center. Center out your hips. And then scooch them over to your left. And drop the knees to your right. Allow yourself to completely be indulged in the stillness, in the present moment. The present moment that's filled with healing, with ease and peace, where you're safe, where you're not under attack. Enjoy 3 more breaths here, nice and slow. And last breath in. And slowly come back to center. We'll do our finishing postures. We'll do shoulder stand. So if you know how to get into your shoulder stand, go right ahead. If you want to take a restorative shoulder stand, you can bring a prop under your sacrum, like a blanket or a block, a bolster, or even a pillow, and just simply lift your legs straight up so that you receive the inversion effects. If you don't know how to do a shoulder stand, I'll do a small demonstration now. So for shoulder stand, I have my hands flat on the ground. And then I start to send my legs and hips up and over. Now my hands come on my lower back and the legs straighten straight up towards the ceiling. So while you're here, start to focus on your third eye and imagine a red rose in the center of your eyebrows. As you breathe in, watch and feel all the petals spread and open. And as you exhale, watch it close into a bowl. Stay with that vision for a moment. Coming into plow pose now, allow the legs to fall overhead. And we'll take a bent knee variation today, so we can allow the knees to bend towards the outsides of our ears. If anyone was in the restorative version, then you can just simply let your knees bend towards your chest. And take 5 last rounds of breath here. So relaxed, so unclenched. It's like you can fall asleep here. With the help of our hands now, releasing them flat on the ground so we can use them as brakes. Lower down 1 vertebrae at a time. Once you're flat on your back, stay here for a moment. And preparing for our last pose together, the fish pose. Your palms are flat alongside your body, and then you'll just shift your weight to one side and roll one arm behind your back. And then you roll onto that arm, tuck the other arm behind your back. So you're pretty much sitting on your wrist. The palms are facing down, shoulders are scooched underneath your chest. And as you start to breathe in, lift your chest all the way up and bring the top of the head onto the ground. Breathe into your throat and your heart for 5 breaths. Make sure the legs are still active. Feel the spreading of the ribs. And last breath in and release flat onto your back. We've reached our Savasana final relaxation posture. So make sure you have something to cover up if you'd like, make sure you're comfortable. Like I mentioned before, my Wi-Fi is at 1%, so if this does die during your Savasana, I mean, you can stay there as long as you want, just letting you guys know. If I can't stay with you guys until the end, just want to thank you guys for joining class today, for spending some virtual time here with yourself, your body, your breath. And so all take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, sigh it out. Imagine you have little nostrils throughout all the pores of your body. And feel yourself inhale through all the nostrils, all the pores of your body. And exhale out of all the pores of your body. Like a sponge absorbing fresh prana, life force, energy. And exhaling the residue, what lingered, what doesn't serve anymore. Like when we were children and we would play trust fall with people, and we would completely surrender and fall back. Allow yourself to fall back into Mother Earth's arms, trusting all your weight with her, all your tensions and worries. Allow them to completely melt away, allowing the earth to receive it and transform it back into love. Every exhale digs you a little deeper into the earth. Stay with your breath and enjoy the stillness. Enjoy the ability to be aware of the present moment. start to deepen your breath, inviting some gentle movements back in, like wiggling of the toes, of the fingers, perhaps nodding the head side to side. If you'd like, you can reach the arms overhead, taking a big stretch as you point through the toes. When you're ready, you can roll over to whatever side feels best into a comfortable fetal position. I'll share a poem with you. What a wonderful joy it is to see the beauty of nature and its majesty. Everything blends, intertwines, and embraces, spaced precisely in their design places. What a marvel to see. I wish I were a bee, flying free, smelling life's roses, no particular place to be. How can it be such a marvel to see when it's possessed by such as you and me? Ours to have, cherish and protect, not to pollute, take for granted, or neglect. Enjoy the earth, treat it kind. After all, it is ours, yes, yours and mine. When you're ready, start to come up into a comfortable seat. Find some stillness when you're here with a nice long spine.
We lost her. Have a nice day, everyone.
Thanks. Have a nice day.